So my name's Sian MacInnes. I have been in the financial service industry for 30 plus years, 20 of which as an independent financial advisor. I'm chartered and a fellow of the Personal Finance Society, which is at the moment the top qualification that you can get. And mainly that means that I've done a lot of exams. I moved to Burford about 5 years ago. I was previously working for a larger national company and was looking for a company that offered personal service and individual advice to clients. Well, it is within Philip James Financial Services. Both myself, Anne, and Jess and Alice mean that we're about 50-50 here, but I haven't seen much change in the industry at large. When you go to the meetings, there are mainly men that are still in this business, and I don't understand why, because I think it is a job and a career that very much lends itself to ladies. Yes, one of the other reasons that I joined Philip James Financial Services was the fact that they were ahead of the pack with ethical investments, both researching and recommending those to clients. The market was quite small at first, but it's really grown of late. Both the insurance companies and fund managers producing the type of funds that clients want, and the desire from clients to invest ethically. And in fact, the last few months I've been doing quite a few ethical talks to environmental groups locally, giving them ideas about how they can use their money and the power that that money has to make a change for the environment, as well as getting good returns. For many years, but the market was very small at first, and it was a bit like the Henry Ford quote when he produced cars, that the only colour was black. Similarly, with the ethical funds that were available, you were very limited on what they were offering, and usually they were quite high risk because they were 100% invested in the stock market and shares, which increases the risk of those funds. There's been a huge change recently, both with government legislation, the FCA requirements of companies and advisors to be asking and to researching with their clients whether they want ethical investments. And as a result, the market has grown and we've got far more choice. In fact, it makes it more interesting for us, but also harder to find the type of funds that are right for each individual client. The first style of ethical fund would be those that still invest in everything, but what they're doing is using their power as a shareholder and the money that they've got invested to make a difference directly within the company. So they're not screening anything out, but they are perhaps changing board directors or voting against remuneration policy or making a big change in other policies. The next style of fund would be more ethical, where companies are being screened out. So if they are destructive towards the environment in any way, those companies will be screened out and they'll be chosen only those that are doing positive things for the environment. And that would usually exclude companies such as fossil fuel, mining, armaments, alcohol, tobacco. And then the third group is for companies that are making a positive impact. So as well as screening out companies, they're searching out companies that are making a positive impact both for the environment and the wider society. Quite often they're looking at the UN Sustainable Goals. There are 17 of those, and they are seeing the impact that they can make aligned to those goals. There is one fund that is investing in a company that recycles steel, Only 25% of the world's steel is recycled, and this company does it both safely and energy efficiently. 97% of it is energy efficient of that recycling. Another example would be that there's a large bank in Indonesia that is offering credit facilities to farmers who are then able to buy equipment to farm their land. There are lots of different options about how you can invest in ethical funds. I often say start small if you want to. You might find that you've got no funds available at all, so you could then perhaps be investing for your children, maybe setting up a child or teenager's bank account with some of the more ethical banks, Starling, Triodos, Nationwide, to name a few. Another option, if you are still working and you've got a workplace pension, is you're often put into a default fund, is to look for, have they got an ethical fund available in the pension, and if not, ask for one. Speak to the trustees and start putting pressure upwards to ask for ethical funds. You can then look at, if you've got existing investments such as ISAs or SIPs, is look at switching those into an ethical portfolio. Again, one that matches your attitude to risk. And also, if you're looking to save potential inheritance tax, one way of doing that is investing in smaller shares that are on the alternative investment market, and those can help you save inheritance tax after you've held them for 2 years, and a lot of those are ethical too. So you can save tax and save the planet.